And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, September the 25th, 2019. It was on this day, 1789, that Congress approved 12 amendments to the Constitution, which had been recently ratified. 10 of them would eventually become the Bill of Rights that we know today. It was George Mason from Virginia who had been disappointed in the Constitution. He thought that it gave too much power to a central government and with little protection for individual rights. So he lobbied for the amendments. And after a few years, Thomas Jefferson joined the cause, and George Washington and James Madison. In the summer of 1789, Madison introduced 17 amendments before Congress. That was narrowed down to 12, which were approved on this day, 1789, sent to the states for ratification, of which 10 were ratified, which protect, among other things, a citizen's right to freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, a well-organized militia, and a speedy and public trial, and freedom from unreasonable search and seizure, and excessive bail, freedom from the quartering of troops in your home, and self-incrimination. And Article 10, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. One of the amendments which did not succeed would prohibit members of Congress from voting to raise their own pay without allowing the voters to have a say. It's the birthday of the man who said, "Most men are a little better than their circumstances give them a chance to be." The novelist William Faulkner, born New Albany, Mississippi, 1897. Like to get up early in the morning, eat eggs and broiled steak for breakfast, get a pot of coffee, take his tobacco and pipe, and go up to his study, where he went inside and took off the doorknob and carried it inside with him, where he wrote his novels by hand on large sheets of paper and then typed them out with 2 fingers on an old Underwood portable. In a 4-year span, he published some of his best works: Sartoris, The Sound and the Fury, As I Lay Dying, Sanctuary, and Light in August, all between 1929 and 1932. And it was on this day, 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor was sworn in as a justice in the Supreme Court, first woman to hold that office. She graduated from Stanford Law School, 1952, top of her class, couldn't find a law firm that would give her a job because she was a woman. So she moved to Arizona, opened up her own law practice, became active in the Republican Party, became majority leader of the Arizona State Senate, then was appointed to the Court of Appeals, and 2 years later, President Reagan appointed her to the Supreme Court. Here's a poem for today, a sonnet by William Wordsworth, entitled Composed upon Westminster Bridge, September 3, 1802. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. This city now doth like a garment wear the beauty of the morning, silent, bare, ships, towers, domes, theaters, and temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Never did sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor valley, rock, or hill. Ne'er saw I, never felt a calm so deep. The river glideth at his own sweet will. Dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that muddy heart is lying still. A sonnet by William Wordsworth, composed upon Westminster Bridge, September 3, 1802. And that's the Writer's Almanac for September the 25th, 2019. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.